Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crew SMP. Now today I have some tasks back at the base I need to get done. I have these two kind of blueprints-esque things that are going on outside my base that I need to finish because I am moving soon and I don't know how quickly afterwards I'm gonna be able to get back on the server and continue making videos. So I am trying to get stuff finished on the server, at least for now, which means one of these two have got to go up today. And I'm thinking the main storage building because all of my storage is kind of overflowing into other boxes and stuff like that. So I kind of want to redo the storage. So actually do like a main storage building over here. Although I think I'm going to change how it's set up because I kind of want more than a 1 block radius here. I kind of want this 3 block. Well, hold on. We'll bring some blocks over here and we'll actually look at how this would look. And by overflowing, I mean I have this entire box. I just picked the diorite out of these. So I had this entire box and then this. I could have went out and grabbed more tuff and completely filled this box up, but I didn't. Well, I was just doing this in the middle of the night one night. I kind of needed to go to bed. And then there's this that's overflowing into this. So, yeah. Okay, to kind of give you an idea as to what I'm doing here. This is going to become kind of an archway into the building. And then in here is going to be the storage area. Now I'm going to have like furnaces and stuff put into the floor. But I'm going to have furnaces and stuff put into the floor along with crafting tables and stuff like that. But I want to get the building in place first. Okay, so that's kind of how the chests are going to be placed. So they're going to kind of be meeting everything. There's a reason I kept the pale oak on me, because I'm going to need it. Because all of this has to be filled in. I'm not just going to leave this open. Okay, the diorite box is going to change. I just need to get a shape in place. But here's a bit of the interior, how it's just the same kind of arch that's in here, just a little bit more further inset. And this is going to continue back this way as much as I need it. Right now, I think I'm going to go for 2 cells of chests. I'm not going to go too big with it because I don't need that much space, at least not right now, because right now is the same amount of space as I have downstairs. I need to up it by at least 1 set to make room for everything. So I'm going to quickly run and do that. Okay, and then this keeps the 3 between. I think I'm going to fill the 3 between with barrels. Just so I don't have to, first of all, so I don't have to deal with filling in this actual wall. Because that's just entirely going to be barrels. And then at some point, I'm going to have it dive back into a staircase that goes into my actual base. But for right now, this is kind of how it's sitting. So I'm going to need barrels, but first of all, I need to start doing the plankage behind all of these. Because getting back underneath the chest is easy. Getting back behind them is a pain in the butt. Actually, can I put them upside down? And they still work. As they do, I can do a full fill-in. Hold on, I have learned something that is going to make it, well, 10 times harder to do all of this, but it's going to make it look better, in my opinion. Okay, that looks drastically better with the archway thing. There we go. I had to make a few more chests, but this gives us all of these. Now this doubles the chests I had before, and I'm also going to be filling the back with barrels, which means I'm going to have a lot more storage in here. Now the barrels in the back are actually going to be for the more specialty items, so my iron, my gold, my coal, my copper, things like that, they're all going to go in the back. And then all of my bulk storage stuff needs to come up here. Of course you spawn up there. Of course you spawn up there right when I'm about to get started on working up there. That's when y'all want to spawn. Okay, the question is what type of roof line do I want to go with for this? Because most of the alien like arches you see are very large, very dominating type of structures, but I don't want that, at least not in this area. I'm definitely going to be doing that whenever we get to the mega base area, all the way over here. Because those are going to be some massive buildings and stuff like that, so everything's going to look about the same. So far, all I've done is very small structured buildings. So how do I make that match? Okay, yeah, that feels a bit better, especially since I'm probably going to be doing like more of a square roof. Kind of want it sitting like that. Now the whole premise I'm coming onto the crew SMP with is to challenge myself and do build stuff that I don't typically do. The shop and everything was kind of a safe thing, but things like the portal, the trees, I'm trying to stray away from what I normally do as safe building techniques that I know I've done a bajillion times, so I know they're good. I'm trying to get to where I feel confident enough to do stuff that I don't typically do. So I'm kind of stepping out of a bubble I've had for a while as a builder and looking for stuff that I'm deliberately looking for stuff that makes me uncomfortable to work on. I feel like I could probably break this up a bit more and put like another bit of a building up here and try to go for more verticality a little bit. Maybe bring more diorite up here and have it come from this area instead. Oh, that's actually not bad. I actually quite like that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. So we have little staircases going up. This gives a bit more to the building than just being some random thing. Okay, I definitely need to go grab calcite because this needs to have some form of other color on it because I'm just getting lost in the amalgamation that is diorite. Okay, the idea for the building is in. I have this little bit of area. There's going to be a staircase that goes up to this. There is going to be like a little bit of pathing that goes up there. This is just going to give more to the storytelling of the area. These are going to be some more fallen arches and stuff like that. This area is going to look very heavily overgrown after I finish texturing it. I think what I want to do next that I want to bring you back in for is doing the pathing. So I'm going to go clean up a bit of my inventory and get some more pathing stuff out here. So we don't have things randomly spawning inside my dang storage area. And of course I'm going to try to work in furnaces and stuff like that into this design later. Just right now it's not a priority. Could probably clean out the back wall and just do it as barrels on one side and... You know, actually that is something I could do. Okay, the texturing as always helps out a lot. I did do some touches of texturing throughout the building. I textured the ground. Now I am going to quickly just move these things interiorly. They're just going to set back here, which is where I'm going to have that type of stuff set up anyway. But just so I can have it out the way for me to be able to do some of the pathing. Now I am going to need a few campfires because I plan on doing like a small bridge that went over all of this. Planned on putting it like here. And I want it to feel as though my character put this bridge in. Because beforehand, they would just be able to go through these now collapsed tunnels to go to that side. But now, she can't go through these tunnels because they're collapsed. So she can't go through the tunnels to come over here. She has to go over water in order to get there. So I kind of want... Do I have any campfires left? Okay, and there we go. Now this is simply going to be path blocks connecting to whatever path I put over here. That's going to go to some sort of viewing deck that's going to be right here. It's going to be right over the water. And then this is going to path block into this, which is going to have the staircase up to here and the pathway going over there. Because eventually the staircase coming up into this area is going to be back there. So I have to pre-plan for the lore of the area and my character and how she found it and stuff like that. So, I think we start with some of the more different plans I have, which is a viewing deck, which is going to have kind of a circular format. So I'll start making the pathway back out of here. And now I kind of want fences to put here, but then again, this is not going to be done. So there's that. Kind of want to get here. This is going to start the blending process. And like I said, this is going to be a like path block path that my character has walked a lot frequently because she had to throw this path in after discovering that there was really no way to get over there. So this I'm going to texture up with some coarse dirt and such later on. Just right now it's going to be path blocks. I actually have some rooted dirt as well. I could probably throw that in. Also, I have 32 levels and I've enchanted near about everything else with custom enchantments. What do I get on this? Oh! That's definitely sticking around for a minute. I'm going to put mending on that. Fortune 3, efficiency 4, unbreaking 3. That's going to help so much with nether tree mining. How are we looking for map view? Oh, yeah. Now, this is not going to be the only viewing deck. There is also going to be one over here. Also going to be a few more trees placed about. I just have to get all of this put in before I can figure out where exactly I want those trees. Now, the trees are going to be a video all their own. That's the reason I'm holding off on doing them, because there is so many. I have to build up the resources in order to build a whole bunch of them. So that's the reason I'm kind of holding off on building the trees so far. I'm going to get a whole bunch of resources. I'm actually starting to build up the resources here. You can kind of see where I'm at. I kind of have enough to do like maybe one tree. But building up the resources to do these trees actually takes a lot. I want to fill those barrels completely up with the wooden and leaf resources before I commit to doing any of these trees. And I'm going to start from this side and work my way over. Because this area is going to need like foliage touches and stuff like that. So starting on this end and slowly working my way over makes more sense, as I'm still working on this portion of the base. Now I am going to come back and texture this riverbed as well. That's going to all be in like the final touches video whenever I go through this base and do all the little things that have been irking me from the beginning. So texturing the riverbed, throwing flowers and things around, anything I may have missed, double checking and essentially going over myself, making sure this base is finished before I go over to the mega base area. But there's the storage room, and here is all of our pathing. Keep in mind, this stone pathing was put in place by the people who were here previously. So this pathing exists because our predecessors. This pathing exists because we walked this path. And the reason our predecessors didn't have a bridge there is because there used to be an actual thing back there for us to walk down and, you know, do stuff back there. I think I'm actually gonna blend this in with my stuff that's back there. So I'm going to like start a staircase down and put all of my furnaces and stuff in the wall. Or maybe I may make a door here and then put all of my barrels along the outside of it and then just put a door there that goes into like a furnace room. Just because it blends the door in a bit more. And then this is where I could dig this out and then have like an actual furnace room back here. And then this is where I could store all of my iron and stuff like that. If I fully dig out that room, that would allow me to access the barrels from the back. And I could also AFK in there. And this still gives me the room I need to do an archway here. That's going to blend further back in with the downstairs area. And then this is going to blend back into, well, for right now, I'm going to make it look like it's fallen in. So I'm going to take it back to, and then I'm going to come in, make it look like it's fallen in. But this is going to end up being the tunnel that connects it to my actual base. You can kind of see it in the upper corner there with the purple dot that's going back and forth. Go into map view, go to cave, and then layered. There we go. You can kind of see it here. I'm going to have to go down, like just straight down, and then over. This is going to be a pretty long tunnel, but there is a bunch more stuff I want to do. Like there's a whole lava farm I still want to do. So that is definitely going to come into play at some point. There'll probably be farms along the staircase area just to try and make it look a little bit different. And then maybe things like more storage and stuff like that, more lore-based rooms. Like maybe I put in an actual like library or things of that nature that my character's slowly going to uncover. And then up here, this is going to become like a man-made-esque waterfall that's going to cascade down into here. I'm going to like slightly texture this hill afterwards, but I'm going to turn this into a bit more of a river basin. That's going to take some terraforming work because there is like a little bit of a cave entrance here and stuff like that. But this is going to turn into a basin. And I'm going to have some pipes coming out of this wall or this hill that's actually going to end up filling in this basin. I don't want to get the mark out for this done. So that's going to fall directly into here. And then that's going to just trail off into all of this. Now this is probably going to be tough or some sort of deep slate or something like that. It's going to be a type of stone that pops against the diorite calcite mix that I have going on everywhere else in this build. And then of course there's going to be pipes and things leading into this so that it makes a bit more sense as to how this exists. Okay, and there's a bit more texturing. Now this is going to change slightly. I'm going to put in like maybe some stone furniture or something up here. And this is definitely going to change because I'm going to be putting in archways around all of this. Fallen archways, but there's still going to be archways around it. I feel like this could be built up a bit more. Like completely up against here. Okay. Time to get some fallen archways in place. Actually, real quick before I do that, I want to grab some decorative tuff to put around the edges of that pool. Now I am going to texture this bit to be a bit more of the smoothed off one, as well as the regular tough, but for right now it's just straight stone brick all the way down so I could get it marked out. Okay, and there we go. And then this is gonna have some pipes that are going to come over these edges and pull into this. Okay. The lighting in the area is iffy. But I think I've gotten down what I want for the archways of everything up here. Now if I come up here, you'll see some more. This entire area is just archways. There's no roofing to it, there's no nothing. It's just archways. Now I am going to show like some degradation of maybe the pillars, but this took so long to do that I kind of don't want to touch it. So I may show some degradation to this area, I don't know, but I am definitely going to overgrow it because I still need to find a better light source than these dang torches. But that is where I'm going to have to leave it today. I have actually run out of time to record. There is this entire building done, though. It goes all the way up here. We even have plans for a new terraforming project, which, speaking of which, by the next episode, this terraforming project is going to be done. So we'll be able to just continue, just straight shot, finish this area, and then go immediately into this. Because my goal is to have this base finished by the start of October. At least working on the finishing touches video by October. So that means that needs to get done. That means the stables needs to be done because those are the last buildings I need to work on. And then I need to get all the terraforming work done. Which means I have a lot of wood to grind for and a lot of leaves. So I'll get started on that. And until next time, bye bye.